Nikki Sterling's on the going to be with us, and I just want to preface this: is her child got murdered by a person that was let out early by one of these projects. It's called the Bail Project. Matter of fact, the person who ran, the director of the Bail Project, David Casper, says he feels bad that this happened. Wow. Well, we're going to talk to Nikki right now. Nikki, welcome to the show.
Hi, good afternoon, Aaron.
Good afternoon. I really appreciate you making time for all of us here in Denver. I know your time is very valuable and you're going through a lot of things right now, but once again, thank you for giving us a call.
Oh, and I have to thank you for allowing me to also speak with you and get my son's story out there, as well as the work that's being done on behalf of the Bail Project.
Well, first, I'd like to talk about your son. Please tell me about Dylan McGinnis, because everything I read, he is an amazing individual. So let's first just talk about him and his life and everything we can, so all the audience can understand how wonderful of a person this person is.
Oh, of course. Yeah, Dylan was 24 years old, and he was such a vibrant person. He was always smiling from ear to ear. He loved his friends. He loved his family. He really enjoyed or found joy in helping other individuals out. So a couple of the stories that we heard during his funeral were that friends had come up to me to say that, you know, he helped them through an abusive relationship with their parents, or he helped them through a mental illness issue on behalf of their parents. And he just had this strong concern for other individuals. He didn't know a stranger, so he could walk in a room and be friends with anybody in the room or everybody in the room within just a short period of time. He was just such a great person to be around, a beautiful soul, and it's a tragic loss for our family and for the world.
You know, did you know about this cashless bonds and these bail projects that help fund felons to get out of their bond early, to get out of jail early? Did you know anything about this before your son was murdered?
I did not. I actually received a phone call about 3 weeks after his murder and was informed that the individual that had shot him had been bailed out by a charitable bail organization called the Bail Project, that they bonded him out of jail on a $5,000 bond. So that was a shock. I have never heard of, I guess I don't pay a lot of attention, or hadn't up until now, to bail reform. But when I heard about that, it just became my mission to learn about the Bail Project and, you know, what their approach and what their mission really was. So, no, I had not heard about it up until that point.
You know, I have to say that had to be another gut blow when you found out this didn't have to happen. What did you feel when you felt that this was all prevented? If somebody would have just not let him out of jail early?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, it was a shock to my system. I mean, I didn't know. I can't wrap my brain around the thought of a charitable bail organization that's supported by taxpayer dollars and donations, bailing felons out of jail and putting them back on the street. It's something that I just couldn't wrap my brain around. There's nothing I can do right now to, bring my son back, but I just wanted to bring awareness out there, put out the awareness that this is actually going on. And it's not only going on in the state of Indiana, it's going on nationwide. every state has a bail project disruptor. And like I said, it quickly became my mission to learn about this and to bring it to public awareness, and so that no mother has to go through or find out, that their child has been murdered or impacted by this organization.
Nikki, you said something, and I wonder if the listeners also heard it. You said privately funded, but also you said taxpayer dollars. Are you saying there truly are taxpayer dollars are going to some of these bail projects?
Yes. Mm-hmm. The city of Indianapolis actually supports the bail project.
Wow. That is, that's scary. It's scary, makes me angry, makes me pissed off. And I just, there are no words that I can come to actually know that the city had something to do with your son's murder.
Yeah, the city actually supports the bail project. And so what we have done is actually gone above and beyond and worked with the state leaders to implement a bill in 2022. So January, there's going to be a bill up for vote, actually regulate the bail project, because the city, it's quiet in Indianapolis right now.
So, God, I just couldn't imagine my tax dollars going to something that I'm totally against, and that is letting out felons. That is actually mind-blowing. So we're going to go to break in like a minute and a half, Nikki, and then I want to keep you to after break so you can still talk to me. So hopefully I have that time with you. I want to ask you something. Is there an opportunity for you to sue either David Gaspar, who's the director of the Bail Project, his organization, the city of Indianapolis, or anybody else who is involved? Is there some recourse you can take to say no more? This stops right now.
That's something that we're currently, myself and Dylan's father are currently looking into. Right now, I don't have an answer for that, but it's definitely something that we are looking into pursuing.
I think that's the only way to get people's words to be recognized and heard is to sue people. And when you put a dollar on it and people have to pay lots of money for lawyers, it wakes them up and puts people on notice that we will not take this anymore. Have you thought about doing a GoFundMe or anything like that to help you push this forward and to help you get these people to answer for what they have done?
I haven't thought about that, but that's a great idea. Right now, I'm still, everything is still fresh, and, I'm just moving forward day by day and, getting the word and making the awareness, putting the awareness out there. I haven't really sat back to think about next steps, but that's definitely something that I could consider doing. But I also want to let you know that Dylan's case in Indiana was not the first case of an individual being bailed out of jail by the Bail Project and turning around and murdering individuals. So there was a case prior to Dylan's case where they had bailed out an offender, and he turned around and murdered his girlfriend while he was out on bail. And then more recently, a Bail Project offender that was bailed out turned around and ambushed two police officers with the intent to kill them. Wow.
And you would think after the first murder or the second murder, somebody would wake up and say, something's wrong here. We tried it. It was an experiment. It failed. And we got to move on. But it seems like they're pushing all their chips in. They're not backing down.
Mm-hmm. And they stand behind their mission.
Well, Nikki, I'm going to go to break, and then I'm going to bring you back on. I have Nikki Sterling on, the mother of a child who was murdered from a person that was was going to jail, had a bond of $5,000, couldn't come up with it, and then the bail project in Indianapolis bailed them out, went on to murder her son. And it is so much that you can't even comprehend that this is going on a regular basis all through the United States. So we're going to come back after break and keep on talking to Nikki and kind of brainstorm, how can we stop this? Because how can we stop it and save lives? I'm Aaron Lapidus, filling in for Stephen Tubbs on 710 KNUS. Welcome back. I'm Aaron Lapidus, filling in for Stephen Tubbs on 710 KNUS. You know, we're in this conversation with Nikki Sterling talking about her son who was murdered by a person, an animal basically, that was bonded out of jail. He didn't have the money, got help from the bail project, and got out, and then went on to murder her son, Dylan McGinnis. And I know, Nikki, it is very, very hard on you, and I really appreciate you being on the radio with me, because we're saying words that are striking, I know, a chord inside you and bringing back some of the anger and sadness. But once again, I appreciate you being on the air with me right now.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, Nikki, you know, I'm reading some background right now on other of these projects. There's a Minnesota Freedom Fund that Vice President Kamala Harris supported. And that, too, had a gentleman named, I'm not even going to tell him, a person, George Howard, who was released from bond. The money was raised by the Minnesota Freedom Fund. And George Howard got out early from being bonded out, and 2 weeks later, he murdered somebody. And it seems like there are statistics already on why this is a bad thing. So when you're going to your congressperson, your senators, your governor, your mayors, what kind of feedback when you can show that this is not working? What do they say to you?
Well, I can tell you the mayor of Indianapolis, his only statement to the local news stations was that he supports the bail project. I've had support from senators. I've had support from U.S. Senator Mike Braun on regulating the organization. And with the presentation being in January, I know our governor, Indiana's Governor Holcomb, is looking forward to seeing some of the bills that are going to be presented, to help course correct. So, Indianapolis is at their all-time highest homicide rate. I want to say it's like up to 265 so far this year. And, U.S. Senator Braun said it's definitely something that he has his eye on. And he personally wrote a letter to Governor Holcomb to address the charitable bail organization in Indiana.
So, that's what they're working on now. We talked about suing, and unfortunately, we are a litigious society, but there are times when suing is the right thing to do because it wakes people up. And you said you haven't looked into that yet, but, it seems like there has to be a way of going after this, the bail project, going after their family of the murderer, going after everybody who allowed this to happen, because I bet there are attorneys, just their whistle is wet. They can't wait to jump on something like this. And yes. I hope you find that person. I hope people hear you right now and can, reach out some way to you. And have you set up a Facebook page page or anything so people can have a way of reaching out? And I know that's kind of putting yourself out there, but there's a lot of wonderful, amazing people in Colorado that I know this is striking a chord to, and their heart is hurting for you. Is there any way they can reach out, some way that it won't be harmful to you, but you can enjoy the responses and advice that they give you? Is there anything like that that you've put in place?
I have not set up a personal Facebook account on behalf of Dylan at this point, but I am on Facebook, and my profile is open to the public, and I can receive messages through Facebook. I'm also on Twitter. I mainly opened the Twitter account just so that I could get Dylan's story out there to, in front of individuals that really needed to see what was going on with the Bail Project. But yeah, if somebody would like to contact me, my personal profile is open. And if you were to go in and look at it, you would see a lot of media articles, everything that we've got out there, that we've, brought to public awareness about this.
Well, Nikki, so I'm going to put it out there. Obviously, I think 99% of the people that hear my voice are awesome people and will reach out and be kind. And then, you always have some people that see things way differently. But I think the overall good this can do and the help and support people can give you, if it's okay, I'm going to spell your name for people to find you on Facebook. You're Nikki, Nikki Sterling, Sterling, and you're from Indianapolis. Is that correct?
Yes, originally from Indianapolis. I currently live in Arizona.
Okay. So hopefully people reach out and commend you for what you're doing, because what you're doing is very commendable. We need people like you to stand up and say, this is wrong. We have to change this. And I hope, Nikki, you don't stop. You don't stop until changes are made.
I don't plan on it. I am not going away anytime soon. I can tell you that.
Well, Nikki, I appreciate you calling and making time for us. Your son, Dylan McGinnis, will not be forgotten. And Nikki, from all my heart and all the listeners' hearts that are hearing you right now, we tip our hat to you and how commendable and strong you are and for what you're doing. And once again, appreciate you giving us a call.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And, appreciate you, getting this out there, bringing it into public awareness as well.
Thanks again, Nikki. Talk to you later.
Thanks.